But I actually want to start, this does link with Yannick Sinner, I want to start with predictions.
Yes.
Tim loves it when I show the predictions. Now, I was talking to Andrea about predictions, and there's a very special prediction you've made that I think our viewers are going to like. And who have you gone for as your wild card, as your dark horse to win or go deep?
So I have picked Emma Raducanu on the women's side, and I have picked João Fonseca on the men's side. João Fonseca let me down, but apart from this, Emma is doing very, very well. Has only dropped, I think, 5 games in total in 2 matches.
Let me down as well, Fonseca.
He did let you down, yeah. He let a few down. Oh, there it is, yeah, already. And so yeah, I have picked Świątek, as you can see, and Alcaraz and Raducanu. So 3 out of 4 is not too bad. They are keeping me afloat so far as an expert on TV.
What was it about Emma's game that made you pick her coming into the tournament?
So it was one particular moment, actually. I called Washington, D.C., Montreal, and Cincinnati back-to-back, and I have never seen her in the long stretch of her career. Well, long is maybe maybe not that long, but in those months and years that we have followed her, I'd never seen her back up a good result, because her body would always fail on her, or she would feel tired and not be able to back up a good result. And she played really well in Washington, D.C., made the semifinals, flew the next day. It was a crazy travel day. She had to transfer, and it was a long, long day. She stepped on court the next day and won her match. And I thought that was a next level that she had achieved, just taking that mental obstacle of doing well week in, week out. What she can do in certain moments of time, I think we have all seen in the past. But being able to do that week in, week out, that separates the good from the great. And I think Emma has taken a next level and a next step in her career.
And I think it's also interesting, she's talking about how much more enjoyment she's having off the court, but also she feels the most relaxed she's ever been here since winning the title.
Well, I think that's key to it, right? I think the key to playing well week in, week out is to be able to live your life on tour. I think that's exactly what some of us tennis players do wrong in the beginning stages of our career. In the beginning stages, we see it as a job and we have to do so well, but you live in these tournaments. As you guys know, you are on tour for 40 weeks a year. That's your life. You have to make it enjoyable. You have to go to see a movie every now and then. You have to go to a stroll to get a good coffee. And I think Emma has been learning to do that better, to mixing that off and on-court joy and stress, of course. Both comes hand in hand.
And as we said, Tim, it takes time. Everything came to her almost, it felt like, overnight, and she's had to learn under the media glare and the spotlight.
Well, it certainly came overnight, but it came back to front as well. When you reflect on, she was sitting her exams back home, she was doing her A-levels, she then went into Wimbledon, she made the 4th round, and then she came out on a sort of 7-week trip to America and was playing some challenger events, some small tour events, and then she came into qualifying, and we all know what happened over those 3 weeks of the 10 matches, 20 sets, and so it was just, her world was completely turned upside down. And now, fast forward, she'd never won a match here in New York since 2021. So I think she's matured, her game has improved, but also that physical resilience is so much more. At the beginning of the year, she was playing lots of tennis. She wasn't necessarily winning, but she wasn't breaking down physically. And I absolutely agree that this summer hardcourt season, she's played some great tennis, and she's continued that in New York.
It's a very good pick for a wild card. But Can I ask you, why did you go Alcaraz over Sinner? What's the difference?
So I think the two of them separate 0.01%, and just because Yannick had to pull out of that Cincinnati final, that's why I went Alcaraz. I think if on the same day I had walked into the Players Lounge here and saw Alcaraz yawning, I would have picked Yannick Sinner. That's all that separates the two, I feel like, right?
Well, we'll be keeping a close eye out on what they're having for lunch, if their sleeping schedule, all those things play a factor when it's that close a margin.
It is really so close, and just Yannick, and also the poor guy with the red hair in the heat of Cincinnati. I was like, if we have a hot and humid streak in New York.
Let's not go down the haircut route.
And well, actually, Boris Becker told me that it's really hard for red-haired men to survive in the heat and humidity. So I feel.
What about if you've got no hair, like Alcaraz now? Then?
Well, maybe this is more aerodynamic for the whole thing.
Lexus presents tennis on Sky Sports.